Hello and welcome to the Good, the Bad and the What the Fox Volume 3 for Jean-Claude Van Damme. Kickboxer has just finished playing. I'm on ending, I've had a few beers. I've literally watched Wake of Death and Predator tonight, then Kickboxer. I wasn't going to watch another one, but we're on the Van Damme. I'm going to re-watch it tomorrow because I haven't been paying that much attention because I've been seriously focusing on editing something else. But I've enjoyed it. But like, just there's a few things. Obviously, I'm gonna have to now watch the two new Kickboxers on top of it. So I want to rewatch it again. So when I revisit the other Kickboxers, which have both had, check them out. Fast forward reviews where I've went in and wrote a script and developed them properly. I just don't want to have a rant like I am now about Kickboxer, about the dog getting stabbed, because I was upset. I was like. Then Van Damme dancing, I was like, what the fuck? And like, I was editing over here, I was just like, whoa, what the fuck? And so I'm going to have it on tomorrow again. Then I'm going to do more reviews for it. Bit of a false start. Now, I'm not going to watch Kickboxer first. I've decided to watch 6 Bullets, even though he has a Magnum on the front cover. Not a Magnum, Desert Eagle kind of thing. Beretta. Definitely holds more than 6 bullets and machine gun on the back. But I'm watching this and I've definitely seen this opening scene, and when I've been thinking about it, it could have been like for the love of horror, a horror con when I've been away for the weekend filming and stuff. Hotel. It was for the love of horror. It was the horror. Wasn't the first night. I think it was the second night for this was on. Well, yeah, 6 Bullets is the first one for Van Damme. Right, okay, 6 Bullets. Look at him. It's definitely a Beretta, and he's definitely got a machine gun on the back. Right, okay, so I do remember seeing this in the hotel. I have watched Kickboxer, but by the time Kickboxer finished the other night, I don't even know what day it was. Anyway, this is Jean-Claude Van Damme's The Good, the Bad and the What the Fox Volume 3. So many Van Damme films going on here. Now this is from the same director as Assassination Games and Pound of Flesh. Another couple of Van Damme films. So working on a film with Scott Atkins this year as well. So this, you could tell straight away from me personally living in Bulgaria, this was on the border in Romania. It's an hour and 50 minutes long. Bloody hell, I mean, it's a long film. Very drained of colour, starts off and it's like this like weird fucking thing about Van Damme waiting to be like, I would like to have one of them girls up there. Anyway, it's very, the violence quite good, but yeah, it's going on like obviously maybe to the success of Taken and stuff like that, so that's where this film really goes. Anyway, Van Damme is just basically a hired gun trying to get the son back for a mom. He does that because next time, you know, I blinked and he was a butcher. I was like, okay, that's his cool name, the Butcher. Now, this is one of the first films. I know Chris Van Damme is in a lot of Van Damme's films over the years, but this is the one where I went, I bet his son's his son in real life, and it was. So, film goes on. I mean, so basically the storyline is this American couple and a daughter get to Romania. She gets kidnapped and then held, and then the parents pursue Van Damme to get him back. The fire explosions in this are really poor. There's a bit where there's a house smoking and like the pan across and you see the smoke coming off stuff and it's like, ooh. And then there's a bit where a fucking bazooka takes out a jeep and you think, no, just blow the fucking thing up. I mean, I remember the last day of in Bulgaria when the stunt guys were like, oh, come blow that caravan up. I'm like, what? And they just blew the caravan up, so, you know, CGI, man. Van Damme, it doesn't seem to dial it in. I mean, it's violent enough. The greater the sinner, the greater the saint. 6 Bullets, you know, like, I would say it's a borderline bad film. I mean, it's just way too long, and the young girl's performance is quite good. The lead actor who plays her dad's got like a tribal tattoo that looks out of place for even when this was made. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't look right. the mistress of the henchman. She was pretty nice. But no, it goes on really well. And then, oh my god, the bit at the end, man. So there's a bit where the guy's ready to fucking shoot them. And there's like the passing, you know, they hand the girl back and he goes off for that. And fucking Van Damme's there with his binoculars on screen. And the guy's checking the cameras, go, 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 go. And Van Damme, how is it possible for two people to be in one place at one time? And the guy's like, what the fuck? And he pulls a whole time cop speech on him. Like Double Impact. It's like, honest to God, it's like a fucking scene from Double Impact at the end. I was like, oh my god, they haven't, but they have. Two Van Dammes. Well, yeah, the old looping the camera trick. So this is the first entry. Apart from the false starts for Kickboxer the other night, I did enjoy it. It's just I was really focused on I'm developing a music video for Steve Pledger at the moment. So you kind of listen to the music. You got your headphones on and then, oh, what's going on up there? And I think the thing with Kickboxer is you got to take Kickboxer just a little bit more serious because of the 2 remake, but it's not a remake. So yeah, it's kind of like, what the fuck. So yeah, that was the first one. It's an hour and 50 minutes of 6 bullets of Van Damme. Van Damme's most action-packed film in years. I don't remember a motorbike in it. I remember the bazooka. I've just watched it as well. But yeah, see you next video. Okay, I just need to do this really quick. Kickboxer just finished. It's the second time I've seen it in 24 hours, or maybe it was the day after that. Looking back, when I was a kid, it was more Bloodsport for me. That's the one I've seen first. And Kickboxer is sort of a clone. Van Damme did a lot of work with the fight choreography on here, and I think notoriously known as editing the whole. It brings a lot of hype at the time, you know, that they're obviously inspired by Rockies with the montages and Karate Kids and stuff like that. It was the era of people wanting to do it, and it's a pretty hard-hitting movie. His brother getting injured. I mean, at the start, it's all real locations, you know what I mean? And like, it's a bit weird with Van Damme taking pictures of kids in the wall. You're like, hey, you're not in 6 bullets now. But you know, it's lovely montages, great scale. Some proper cheese. I mean, Stan Bush's just dropped in at the end, never surrender kind of crack going down there. The trailer montages are really good. It's got some really funny bits. The supporting cast is really good. His mentor is really good. The bit where he jumps up, it's like, what the fuck? Van Damme trying to explain where he's from because his accent is so peculiar. Just shows you how much of a freaking nature he is, especially like kicking the tree and jumping up. There's no stunt doubles there for that. The guy who played Tom Poe for years, I didn't realise he's actually in Bloodsport. He's one of the other fighters in it, which is pretty weird. The dog, when I was editing the other night, I just remember almost getting upset. I was talking to Kidder on the phone, and you're the dog, and obviously the dog doesn't die. It's a bit harsh when dogs die in movies, just for, you know, gets knifed. But great montages, pure cheese, the dancing. Like, fucking hell. He's got his little vest on and dancing away, and it's like, what the fuck? Obviously the master of the splits as well, doing some crazy ass fucking kicks. The end fight against Tom Poe is pretty brutal, and obviously goes off and like there's action at the side of it as well. Some pretty cool big kicks, a bit like obviously going back to the Quest, you know, that end fight. I mean, this is one of the originals what set the tone. The style just like fighting back tournament movies, you know, films like this inspired stuff like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that, the characters. But yeah, it was, you know, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's the second time I watched it. The sequel picks up with Tom Poe, the character Michael, I think he's called Michael Shannon or something like that. You know, Michael, he comes back and he kills Van Damme, shoots him, and then it's Van Damme's brother from what I remember. Then the third one, which I tried watching when I did that Kickboxer reviews, because I was really interested with the third one because it's directed by Rick King, a guy who directed Prey of the Roller Boys, but again it fell a bit short for us. There might be a fourth Kickboxer, and then we get the reboot, what's a remake but not a remake. It's, again, we'll have to suffer through that by this one, but again there's some really cool bits, and it just really showcases Van Damme. And Van Damme at this point, he wants, you know, he's hungry. He is proper fucking hungry for Hollywood. He'd had his dribs and drabs with breakdance or beatdown, whatever that fucking film was called, when he's dancing in the background with his little spandex on and stuff like the Karate Boy or the Man, what that was. So you had a bit of false starts, and this really, you know, you're going to Thailand, you're going to make this movie about it. He hits home and just showcases what he really is. But the support cast as well, I think it's really important in this as well, because they're very strong. So yeah, that was Kickboxer again. And I don't know what the next one's going to be honest with you. There's a few random ones in the other room, but we'll get there. Right, is it number 3? Is it number 4? Kickboxer, 6 bullets. There with this. Kill them all. Van Damme, Jean-Claude Van Damme. When you don't know who to trust. Right, so I've been trying to work out what the fuck's going on really in this movie. All seems to take place in a hospital and an interview room. Now, the awesome and very attractive Autumn Reeser is in this, from the Lost Boys, the tribe. And she's in it, and she's playing a nurse, and Van Damme comes in with a bit of concussion. Red eyes all the way through the fucking movie. And then another guy's coming in to kill him. And what's pretty cool about the other guy coming to kill him, it's the guy who replaced Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport. So he went on to be in Bloodsport 2, 3, 4, has had an successful career, has been in stuff like The Matrix Reloaded. So this is kind of like a showdown, you know, they have the little fight. We get a few kicks, it's mainly a lot of shooting. Van Damme's on the table, and Autumn Reeser is getting heavily interviewed by the FBI and the Russian guy from Armageddon, the guy from Prison Break, Peter Paul, Flyaway Peter, Flyaway Paul, Peter Stormare. Yeah, he's a really good actor. So he's quizzing Autumn Reeser. She's delivering home. She just wants to go and feed a cat. She was just having a shift, and Van Damme comes in, and then all these people are coming to kill Van Damme, including his son. Like, Van Damme and his son have a fight, and Van Damme kills his son in the film. It then goes back to square one. And at the start, it's got a lot of slow motion bits in it, and a jumpy slow motion, like Haggerty bits, and this weird shit and weird voiceovers. Big long synapses at the start of the movie. I was like, right, okay. And then fucking flips around. Pulls the whole Saw thing a few times. Like, who's playing who? Is her story real? Is Van Damme a killer? And guess what? Van Damme's called Philip. Again. That's Jean-Claude Van Johnson's twin, Philip. He was called Philip in one of the other movies over there. Van Damme's go-tos. Van Damme is called Philip. But yeah, flashing back, I mean, Autumn Reeser, like, yeah, she's the younger sister in the Lost Boys, but like, I mean, she's from the OC. But even her, she's in Smoking Aces too, and she's not afraid to get naked and have some sexy scenes, which, hey, might be one of the reasons I might. Jean-Claude Van Damme on Autumn Reeser, I'm like, okay, I'll buy that. Like on Smoking Aces 2, when she's on top and then just gets an AK-47 out and blows the guy's head off while she's on top of him. It's like, and if you've seen Smoking Aces 1, you know how it's edited, Chuckly, Cutty, and Muttley. I said Muttley because I looked at Muttley. Yeah, it's fucking violent. Then, in a film called The Big Bang, which has loads of multicolours and Antonio Banderas and Sam Elliott, and it's pretty gnarly. It's got a lot of nice visuals in it. She's in that, and she's having sex with Antonio Banderas and keeps talking about the cosmos. I think it's a little bit weird, especially when she's climaxing, talking about Saturn. It's like, you can, yeah. But I don't know. It's twists and turns and who it is, and the whole like Saw ending, like, didn't see that coming, and that person was fooled that person. But like, minimum action. A lot of people get shot in it. But yeah, it just gets confusing with the slow motions and the weird shit. So yeah, it was a weird one. WrestleMania last night, and it's WrestleMania night, so that's the timeline of these. But yeah, I don't know what the next one's going to be. I think the only one left in the other room is the bouncer. So it'll have to be the bouncer and the other 2 kickboxers. That'll take us to 6. So maybe I'm just trying to think out loud. So we might try and have to dig out the Shepherd, Assassination Games, Expendables 2, Swelter. We'll see what's next, but yeah, it's like, what the fuck was that movie? Okay, it's time for the bouncer. Now, I find this absolutely fascinating because this is the slipcover. Ready for this? It's fucking insane. It's insane. So that's quite a picture. Hands down, beaten down. Not really showing his face. No, Van Damme is in this movie. By this movie, Van Damme is in it. It's insane. So yeah, I bought that supermarket. I think I paid like full price for it because I just love that the cover was different. It's quite unusual. Yep. It's almost like just completely different. So the film's originally called Lucas, with a K, not a C. And it's really bland and boring. God, I mean, there's minimum fighting in it. I mean, it's a well-grounded movie to the fact that Van Damme is a bouncer, gets in a club fight, watch out, guy hits his head on the floor, loses his job, has to go into a little fight underground to get a job, last man standing. You know, it's very ground and pound. There's no flying, jumping kicks. Gets a phone call of this guy to try and help him infiltrate this new owner and stuff like that. And it's sort of like, are you a cop or you're not a cop? And this really floats around. The thing about it is, though, it's dubbed. And it's like, what? So yeah, it's dubbed. I'm not sure where it's dubbed from, but yeah, it'd be one of them that catches a lot of people off guard. Carries a general trait of like just the boxes on the back, but yeah, after the altercation forces a bodyguard into jail. He never goes to jail. He is forced to combat with the police. His mission, he doesn't go to jail. Infiltrate organised, dangerous, feminist gang leader, secure freedom, custody of his 8-year-old daughter. So yeah, Van Damme's obviously looking after his daughter. It's doom and gloom. A little bit violent near the end, but you know, Van Damme's very quiet in it. You know what I mean? Sorry, am I in the lights? Hello. But it's a right stinker, I think, that one. So yeah, The Bouncer. It's finally been watched. Get it out of the pile. But yeah, as I say, the old talking dead fast like that. It's dubbed. It's definitely dubbed. Let's have a look on IMDb. So I'm waiting for ages for one of my new videos to render. Brittany's trying to get us to go and see him with Fly. That ain't going to happen, Brittany. So let's just have a look. Van Damme. Right, where's Jean-Claude Van Damme? Why didn't she's Van Damme's just right at the bottom. Let's have a look. 75 movies. It's going to be in the new Minions movie. And he's going to be in a horror movie. We Die Young, that's on Sky. Blackwater, Kickboxer. There we go. Lucas with a K. That's what we're looking for. Nightclub bouncer, who takes punches, literally struggles. Didn't say anything about jail on that one. Country of origin: France, Belgium, British Virgin Isles. Also known as film locations: Brussels, Belgium. Main filming is so it's probably Belgium, yeah. Languages spoken, yeah. So it looks like it's from Belgium, really. Goes back to his home country, gets veg. It's very bland. It gets 5.9 on IMDb though. Not that that means anything, but you know. When you're on IMDb, actually it is. It's called Lucas. That's what I'm looking for. So there's another fucking cover. And he's got his hat down. Shut up. You know, so it's probably going to end up being a what the fuck because of the box artwork. But yeah, that was Lucas, aka The Bouncer. That's my foot. See you next bit. So this one is jcvd, Jean-Claude Van Damme, in a city against him, and he's back to the wall. Van Damme needs just one thing: to be himself. Like when this came out, everyone's like, what the fuck? Double disc, this one, awesome. Darling House on the edge of the seat, Jean-Claude Van Damme is back. So this was kind of like a career resurgence kind of way. Van Damme was really serious about this. And this movie starts off with a banging tune. It sounds a bit like The Roots. And just Van Damme doing this one long take. And after a while you can kind of tell that it's not like a real action movie. And I love the comment by the wannabe director, just because he brought this guy, John Woo, to Hollywood. He's throwing the darts at the board. It's quite cool. But yeah, Van Damme knows his career struggling. Van Damme is also in a custody battle for his daughter. Now it's sort of like kayfabe. What's Van Damme? What's the real Van Damme? And it acknowledges a lot of stuff from his past. Anyway, so Van Damme basically stops for a photo with a guy outside a video shop, and as soon as I seen this video shop, I was like, whoo. You got Mars Attack standee in the window. You've got the cocktail, the illusionist, mixed nuts, Steve Martin. Then I was like, fuck me, look, VHS. But yeah, so these two fans, oh my god, Jean-Claude Van Damme poses for a picture. Walks at the post office, next thing you know, boom, windows go up. So the police get involved. And as Van Damme took over the bank. Has he? And that's the story. The thing about this movie is, you've seen the front cover. You slap that on the chart wall, everyone's going to think it's Van Damme's new film. Thing is, it's, I would say, 85% in its native language, which I think French. So it's all French, and it's very drained of colour. The acting's took really serious. The flashbacks are a bit weird. Van Damme gives an absolute phenomenal right in the camera speech, and it's about himself, and it's almost like a confession of himself, but obviously when speaking in French, the emotion that comes out, I'm like, fucking hell. And it's probably what he's done it for. When it's action, there's a bit of action. As I say, it ploys a little bit. It's got some really like dark bits. It is a bit random near the end, you know, and the twists and the turns and stuff. But yeah, the song at the start gets you going. It's got Van Damme doing a flying kick on the back, and that's all you need. But no, so quite quick. It will be a what the fuck, because Jean-Claude Van Damme's got his own movie called himself, but there's no like throwbacks to anything. There's no tiptoe. He's not called Philip. But that big speech is quite good. But again, with it all being spoken in French and not dubbed, there's some really funny bits. There's a lot of tongue-in-cheek towards Steven Seagal stealing his roles and stuff, which is quite funny. But yeah, it just bleakly ends with him going to like prison and stuff, so it's fucking weird. But yeah, that was another Van Damme film in the pile. Just rendering Van Damme movie in the background as well. So yeah, next one I guess. Okay, Kickboxer Vengeance. I can't see shit with these glasses on. Okay, so the end of this, the good, the bad, and the what the fucks, we are going to be putting in, thanks to Concert Magazine, the episodes from Fast Forward Review for Kickboxer Vengeance and Retaliation, Resurgence, whatever it's called. Both episodes just chucked in there from the original master files, so my opinion should be the same. But I've just rewatched Kickboxer there. I'm waiting on some episodes to render in the background. I've got the glasses on because Van Damme's dressed like this. So, if you're going to do a remake, this knows it's a remake straight away. I mean, Van Damme is having his name on the box of being a kickboxer franchise after 2, 3, and possibly maybe the 4th Kickboxer. But Van Damme coming back, and you bring in Dave Bautista as Tom Poe. You introduce Alan Mussini. That's his name. You got Cain Velasquez and this and stuff. I do think this film was tailor-made for Scott Adkins. Just probably didn't work out. Watching it back without watching my review, it starts off, you know, they use some nice scale footage, you know, and we get fast-tracked into the story, and the curveball from the original that his brother's killed in the ring by Tom Poe. And Van Damme is the trainer. And Van Damme wants to train him. And there's a few montages of good fights. There's some amazing martial arts in this. The bit where he walks back and kicks the guy and does a front flip forward. It's just like, what? That's fucking amazing. This fucking subtitles though drive me absolutely nuts. They're just big, loud and colourful. It's just like, again, check out the review, what's coming later on. Highlight of the movie is the prison break. Not only is there a massive fucking kicking, flying, fucking big long ass fucking take, it's the fact when Van Damme stops and looks at the original Tom Poe and he's hey, you haven't forgot about me, have you? It's fucking genius. It's good for that. Fighting in it's brutal, deadly, change a few things up, try to kick you with a few curveballs. Again, what a remake or reboot should do. But again, it was that successful that there was a sequel quite quickly, and we'll get to that when I watch it again. But you know, I like the pace, I like the tone. It knows what it is, but then what the fuck happens at the end? Like, you've got Van Damme originally dancing from Kickboxer from the original movie with Mr. Mussolini doing reenacting the dance. It's like, what the fuck? Just what the fuck. Batista though, a fucking man mountain, does it really well. Takes the story in a different, scaled down in scale quite big. The bit with the elephants, like fuck my life, man. Yes, they're elephants, and then they're jumping on fake elephants. It's like, what the fuck? What are you doing? But all this is given with him amazing martial artists. So that's my last Van Damme film for the night, definitely. That was Kickboxer Vengeance. Kickboxer Resurgence, Retaliation will be in this one anyway. But yeah, just say, there's little funny bits. Van Damme's really good in it. He knows what it is. He takes on the mentor performance really well. It doesn't borrow too much from the original. Like, definitely, like, you know, there's the perfect strays to make it more entertaining. It's actually directed by one of the guys who was in Christine back in the day, like the John Carpenter film as well. So yeah, that was Kickboxer, and then we'll go to the next Kickboxer. But again, if the outtakes for this thing, we're going to get like 5 to maybe 10 minutes each. Fast forward reviews. Yes, I've had a few beers. I'm always going to have a few beers when it comes to Kickboxer. But yeah, see you next time. Okay, so Kickboxer Retaliation. A lot of hype over this because Kickboxer Vengeance did so well. This appeared very, very quickly. Basically, Anna Mussolini's back, Mike Tyson, Christopher Lambert, and Jean-Claude Van Damme. You see them names on the box, you're going to buy it. The best Kickboxer film yet. Who the fuck said that? Andrew Station. Okay. So yeah, the Man Mountain Monster guy from Game of Thrones is on the back. Doesn't get name checked on the front of the box. So we got this really quick. Now Dave Bautista has 2 adverts at the start of this for Bushwhack and some other film, crazy Bazong film. Dave Bautista briefly appears in this as flashbacks. As takes place 18 months later, and I'm just going to call him Alan. Is in a cage fight. But the movie starts off in one of the fucking weirdest sequences ever. It's like a dream sequence. It's on the train. What the fuck? Then it's, you know, he wakes up in the ring. Then he gets arrested. Then he gets sent to prison. Has this walk through the prison fighting everyone. Then he fights Mike Tyson. And then Jean-Claude Van Damme turns up. He's blind. It's like, what? Then Christopher Lambert's in it. So it all leads to the big finale fight that we've got to know. Now, you get Van Damme versus Lambert with swords. You get Van Damme versus Mike Tyson. You get a lot of flips and a lot of kicks. But the story is batshit fucking crazy. The reoccurring dream, it just really, really goes off beat. The fucking crazy fucking subtitles are there as well, like flashing all the way. But I've struggled through that. Now, as promised, both of the original fast forward reviews for Kickboxer Vengeance and Kickboxer Retaliation will be at the end of this as the outtakes. It probably will end up adding about 15 minutes to this video. But I go in a lot more detail. I just like, fuck it. I just really didn't enjoy that at all. So yeah, that was Kickboxer Vengeance. Okay, now I'm kind of starting to struggle. Like, so I'm like, there's a couple of Van Damme films in there with Scott Atkins, so like Shepard and stuff, and Assassination Games up there. I know Expendables 2's up there. So I've just had to dig through. I'm going to have a look through my Blu-ray collection because I might have a few more Van Damme films I don't realise I have. Like at the very bottom, there's a Van Damme box set of Death Warrant, AWOL, and Black Eagle, which I'll dig out for the next series. So I'm just trying to get a few. Now this has also been a fast forward review, and in the meantime I am tracking down the fast forward reviews. So Enemies Closer will also be added after the Kickboxers. Now it looks like Time Cop because it's the same director as Time Cop. This fucking film, man. You've got Orlando Jones and Tom Everett Scott, who's in stuff like Dead Man on Campus, and Orlando Jones, Always Time for Lube from Evolution. And yeah, this film's fucking batshit crazy, man, because Van Damme turns up with a mountain, he's fucking hair wired, and it's basically about this ranger who's on this island. Orlando Jones comes to kill him from the past. He's like, right, you and my brother, I'm going to get you. So they're having a bit of a tiff. Meanwhile, this plane crashes, and Van Damme and these mountie friends turn up to look for this drugs. And Van Damme playing a bad guy, he's proper possessed. Now, Chris Van Damme has been on a lot of films recently, popping up in all the Van Damme ones. I've mentioned just in the background. He has quite a bigger role in this, a bigger role that you take notice and go, oh, there's Chris. But yeah, Van Damme, completely nuts. But everyone knows MMA fighting in this. There's not one, like, punch. Everyone knows some fucking stranglehold, takedown, even the girls in it. It's pretty brutal, but yeah, just Van Damme just going nuts looking for wild berries and stuff like that. He's fucking wired, and I totally enjoyed it. It's a little bit cheap on some of the effects and stuff like that, but yeah, I think it's all filmed in Bulgaria as well. But yeah, if you haven't heard of it, check it out. Quite rare on Blu-ray, but yeah. Enemies Closer. The next movie is Death Warrant. This is the Van Damme collection by 101. Is it 101? Yeah, 101 Films, Van Damme collection. Death Warrant, Black Eagle, and AWOL. All three films have appeared on the channel, but again, since I'm doing this fucking insane Death Warrant Van Damme marathon, I just grabbed that out the bottom of the shelf. So I think only, well, Swelter's in there somewhere, but yeah, I think I've got another 10 Van Damme films if I start digging like treasure. But yeah, for the revisit it, I absolutely love Death Warrant. Death Warrant's one of the very first Van Damme films I'd seen. I also like to point out, at any point in this review, or the rest of them, I've mentioned that Kickboxer was before Bloodsport. I know it's now not, it's the year before. As I've just IMDb checked. IMDb, it's 3:30 in the morning. So basically, I love this film. I had it taped off the television. It's a very dark, creepy movie. It's just got a very dark tone from the start, when it's all like the water dripping. Kill my partner, I'm going in. And the fucking Sandman jumps out. It's like, whoa, you know what I mean? And the guy who plays Sandman's went on to be in a lot of movies, but he's proper uber fucking creepy in this. Van Damme's a full-on sex pest when he gets a chance to have a baby with a girl, but basically the story is Van Damme goes to prison, which years later was a film called In Hell, which I don't think I've ever owned. And I think that was a bit of a letdown. Like, from what I remember, I think I rented it. But anyway, he goes in, and there's a lot of famous actors in this, so like not hugely famous, but like known throughout the 80s. You got Ali Long there from Big Trouble in Little China, comes in and, you know, headbutts a bloody washing machine. If Van Damme gets his flips and he kicks in, and at the end when he goes raw, you know, proper raging. Some great supporting actors in this, but it's all about you know, like people going around and stabbing. Even the bit where you're like, who's killing these people because someone's spiking them and they're not selling the organs. The bit where the woman's like, oh my god, don't kill me. And in the mirror in the background you can see the guys. It's like, well, look at that. He's smart enough to see it. There you go. Score's really dark as well. Then the Sandman comes back and he's like, and it's fucking terrifying. It's like, whoa. And then obviously at the end there's a big prison fight, of course. But there's some really funny fucking bits in it. One, when the priest gets killed with the axe, when Van Damme runs off, the priest is still fucking breathing on the floor, like, your mate's not dead, where are you going? And then the Sandman just fucking appears and then disappears. And like, there's a bit where, again, when Van Damme's going, whoa, and he just goes, eesh. Fucking gets a wrench chucked at him, but when the Sandman reveals where he's from, he's up the fucking rafters somewhere, and you think, what a shot was he with a fucking wrench? I mean, we're talking some good distance of throwing a fucking wrench. But no, I think it's one of Van Damme's best films from the era. I really like that. You know, for how low budget it looks good. It's grim, but then it's just like it's just like that whole creepy side of the prison life and the corrupt guards and all that. But yeah, Death Warrant is in at number 9, I think. So that's a lot of Van Damme films again. This is just the Van Damme lockdown, I think. This is volume 3 in a week, just over a week. So yeah, Death Warrant, love it. I should own it on its own, but again, that box set I think was $6.99 for all 3 films. AWOL, aka Lionheart. It's a very popular film. You can tell by the reviews I got of it. And Black Eagle. It's like the one after after No Retreat, No Surrender, where Van Damme's playing a henchman, has a fight with a boat. But we'll get to them probably the next run around, because I think when I eventually go to bed tonight, I'm going to watch Bloodsport. I haven't decided what number 10 is. Expendables 2, Bloodsport, or just try and sleep. The fucking sun's coming up in a couple of hours, so yeah, Death Warrant. Okay, last night it was about going up to 4 o'clock when I went to bed, and I put Sky on, and Bloodsport wasn't on there. I was like, oh fuck. I was getting ready for Bloodsport, and I thought I'll put Bloodsport on, I'll fall asleep. You know what I mean? It's hard to shut off at times, you know, at night. And then it was on Netflix, so yeah, Bloodsport. Well, it's been discontinued for years, and I ended up watching the whole fucking thing. So yeah, this is the good, the bad, and what the fuck's the final film, and it is Bloodsport. So I got it on VHS still. It's a Warner Brothers. I always wanted to track one of these down, and I do have it down there on Black Box Warner Brothers label, so I have Bloodsport 2. Bloodsport twice, actually. It has a black label. Canon Films, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Van Damme were going to work with Canon quite a lot. And you know, basically on here, like Matt Davies met Van Damme and, what's he called? Bolo. Who's just creepy as fuck. It's got one of the best fucking funny little WhatsApp, I can see if I can find in the outtakes, WhatsApp memes ever, when Van Damme's screaming and there's a microphone at it and he's drumming in the background. It's fucking brilliant. But no, I think this film's class. It's full fucking cheese. But you kind of can look at the films like that and it goes, yes, Enter the Dragon came years before. But you can look at this kind of really like, it was a naughty film, people fighting to the death. Inspired Mortal Kombat, inspired UFC, I guess, you know, to promote, like, people wanted to see this. Van Damme, you know, literally showcases himself doing the splits and all that kinds of stuff. It's weird to think, looking at this film, that Kickboxer's after, but that's the kind of way it happens, because Van Damme looks a bit more mature in this one. Super fighting scenes, shows you a lot of characters. You know, you don't know the names, but you know the styles. You've got the sumo wrestler, you've got the little monkey man, you've got some generic people. You've got Tom Poe. Tom Poe's the guy who gets his leg broke, you know what I mean? And he's just like, that's Tom Poe. You also got the other players, Jackson as well. He's appeared in quite a lot of films, always like a bodyguard. It's very fast paced, it's very montagey. It's got some funny bits of comedy in that. It's got some fucking 2 montages. Like one when Forrest Whitaker's in this, when he's running around and he's like posing and running around Hong Kong. I mean, at least it's real like Hong Kong. But again, it's just like full cheese. And then the bit where he's on the bus. And the creepy things where you see Bolo in the fucking reflection, you know, like he's looking and he's looking back and it's like, whoa, that's creepy. But yeah, the fight scenes, weird shit though, like at the end with the last fight when they make the fucking ramp like that very quickly, you think, how's that a fair fight form? And then the whole like, but again, fighting some kicks. But like, in the end fight as well, when he jumps up and does the splits and he does the somersault over, you think, yeah, sure enough now, Van Damme. But then the classic like splits uppercut to the balls, it's just like genius. Now I've been in Hong Kong, I think the film catches a side of Hong Kong you don't a lot of see in a lot of like Hollywood style movies. You know, it looks like it's been shot in some really deep, there's a new word, locations as well, but it's fucking brilliant. Bloodsport is probably the best Van Damme film for me personally, as a kid as well. I wasn't so much exposed to Kickboxer. It was like, as I say, it was Bloodsport and Death Warrant. Universal Soldier at the time was slapped everywhere. And then obviously you get that 90s run where you finally get into Van Damme, and then you've got the run of like Hard Target, Nowhere to Run, and next thing you know he's fucking guy on Street Fighter. You think, shouldn't he not be Johnny Cage? I know, you know, I mean, Johnny Cage is American, but you can kind of see there. But yeah, so going back, I might try this. Bloodsport, an amazing movie, based on a true story as well. Now there was a movie come out a lot long ago, and it had JVC in the title. It had like a white and red cover, and apparently there's been a lot of debate and a lot of problems, especially going back to The Quest. So there's real life Frank Dukes, as it's meant to be a true story. It's kind of like been myth busted to be defunct and stuff like that. It's pretty weird. I'm not sure. So then Death Warrant, I'm sure I have Death Warrant on VHS. It's knocking around somewhere. So Death Warrant came back again. I really enjoyed that. So they're 2 good films of Van Damme. Black Eagle on the other hand. We'll get that out of there. Enemies Closer is next. I enjoy that. It is borderline bad on the production. I mean, it's kind of mental to think that it is the director of Time Cop. You can fucking tell it's the director of Time Cop. Look, it's almost the same kind of like, look down Van Damme, look up Van Damme, Van Damme's face. So yeah, Van Damme. Everywhere I'm looking now as Van Damme films go back into the collection, I'll be like, at the very end, should I do a recap of all? And I was like, no, Stephen, you've filed them away. You've dug them out, they're gone. So the 2 Kickboxers are next. I enjoy that one. It is a remake, but then it just sort of has a lot of fun. The fighting in it's good. Dave Bautista, I mean, what more can you want on that? Then we get Kickboxer Retaliation. It's a really bad film. I mean, it literally, that's done that well. This has been fast-tracked. Mike Tyson and Christopher Lambert joined the fray. Of course you're going to fucking buy it. Do you know what I mean? Of course you're going to buy it. Van Damme's fucking blind in it. So for that, that's a what the fuck movie. Because when Van Damme turns up blind, it's like, what? So yeah, Good. I enjoyed it. It's okay. It's fucking weird. Next up, JVC. This is a what the fuck movie for what it is. Van Damme in real life. It's all in French. Has some great action scenes. Awesome intro. Fucking awesome intro. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 6. As I say, but it's got, I mean, a really good delivery of a dialogue speech by Van Damme, but obviously it's all in French as well. So yeah, I quite enjoyed that. Next up, The Bouncer. Really disappointed with this. I mean, the fucking cover. It's also called Lucas. I just think this is really cheaply made. Van Damme's taking on some serious roles, but again, as he kind of says in here, and he's showcasing like roles he's got. That's the one he got, but again, that was probably more. Again, keeping to his home, staying away from Hollywood. 6 Bullets. What's this one? 6 Bullets. Alright, yeah, that's the one where the little girl's kidnapped. Pretty bleak film, actually. Tiptoes around low budgety. Again, it's not a good film, but you know, it's just more like, fucking hell, I can't really remember it. Kill Them All. Autumn Risa. Little sexy freaks. Pretty fucking weird ass movie. Trying to do a whole Saw kind of flip tricks and all that. And then we've got the original Kickboxer, which, strangely enough, will appear. I don't believe that's just fucking happened. I mean, look at that. I'm gonna, this could be eventful for the time. You fucking shit myself. Right, so anyway. So there's some good, there's some bad, there's some what the fucks. Now, as promised, this episode of The Good, the Bad, the What the Fucks, which is volume 3, that's 30 fucking Van Damme films in less than a week, is going to have Enemies Closer, Kickboxer, and Kickboxer 2, the remakes. It's fast forward reviews. There will be jumpy pacey, as someone commented on my toys video this morning when I woke up. Was too much editing, distracting. What do you want? Just a fucking camera on the wall? Watch a review on randoms. Do you know how fucking long it takes to do a fast forward review? But again, I don't do it anymore. I had a great time working for the magazines doing them. I've not broke the case, but it's flew out. It has broke the case. But yeah, as I say, they'll be on just so they've got some reference. There's 3 series of fast forward reviews. They're very short and quick at the start, the first series. And by the time we get to season 3, there are some really fascinating episodes of just blending nostalgia, especially with stuff like Pray the Ball, Roll the Boys in Cuffs. And I believe Kickboxer 2 was part of season 3. So it'll start with, I think it's going to be Enemies Closer, Kickboxer, and then that. And I'll see if I can find that meme for the outtake. And yeah, just trying to think what other Van Damme films I've got. I know Shepherd and Expendables 2 and Assassination Games. I'm not going to put Friends in, that's fucking stupid. But stuff like Maximum Risk on VHS is holding up the shelf there. Legionnaire on VHS. The Replicant on VHS. VHS players in the other room, like, I can't multitask much Van Damme. But yeah, I'll see you back at the outtakes after all the fast forward reviews for that crazy ass fucking meme. There's a random outtake. My Warner Bros. Collection. There's Bloodsport there. They're all different. All got like black spines. But yeah, the Gremlins one looks a bit minging. But yeah, and then it goes into these other blue ones. But yeah, random outtake.
Hello, I'm Stephen Monkey Mason, and welcome to Fast Forward Reviews. The movie is Enemies Closer. It is an action, it's a bit of a thriller, and it's a Van Damme movie. The year 2013. It's on for 1 hour and 22 minutes. That's really short for an action movie. Directed by Peter Hams. Written by Eric and James Bomberg. Starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, Tom Everett Scott, the guy from Boiler Room, American Werewolf in Paris. Dead Man on Campus as well, he was in that. And there's always time for lube, Orlando Jones. If you didn't get that joke, please check out Evolution, an amazing movie. Age rating for this movie is 15. Tagline for this movie is, there is no safety in this forest. Budget for this movie, $5 million. So here's a little bit about the movie. When a small plane crashes in a lake near the American-Canadian border, near the American-Canadian border, time is running out for the drug cartel, who need to find the plane before the police. Because the plane has loads of drugs in it. Because its plane has loads of drugs inside of it. I forgot to really mention that bit. The start of the video should have been, when a small plane full of drugs crashes in a lake on the Canadian-American... Stop right there, this is not Groundhog's Day yet. Anyways, there's a small island near this lake, or in this lake. There's a lake, there's an island. So on this island there is a park ranger who just so happens to be an ex-Navy SEAL who is suddenly forced into survival mode as a group of mercenaries turn up. And also, a ghost from his past comes back to haunt him as a man with a vendetta turns up as well. As well as a girl turning up who now wants to date this guy as well. This all just seems to happen in a matter of hours. It's definitely going to be a long night, but remember, a short movie. Fun fact about this movie, set on an island between the Canadian border and the American border. It's all filmed around that area, yes and all, yes. No, it's all filmed in Bulgaria. With, by the looks of it, a lot of the cast who worked on the tournament. So here's my review of the movie. When I first seen the box for this, I thought this was some kind of sci-fi movie, like sci-fi action movie, because it looks a lot like the Time Cop box. Van Damme at the top looking all serious 20 years later. Van Damme's name, like montage at the bottom of people, and loads of like, you know, graphics, circles put around them. So yeah, I was it looks a bit like Time Cop. And then I seen Van Damme on the back of the box with hair sticking right up there. I'm jealous, that's why I didn't wear a hat in this video. I am jealous, Van Damme. And I was like, what the hell is this film about? So fast forward a year or two and I finally got around to watching this. And to be honest with you, this was not what I was expecting at all. Tom is doing his best park ranger, like Yogi Bear style park ranger impression, while Orlando Jones is following around with some binoculars. What the hell? Is this some kind of wormhole? Hey, it's a new Bombwell video. Yeah, it has the binocular effect again. And to me that would have been an interesting story. A guy doing a park ranger thing, looking after the environment, looking after the one other guy who lives on the island, looking after tourists, and some guy turns up and follows them around, and when the sun goes down there's just them two on the island. That would have been an interesting movie, I think. But then Van Damme turns up as a Mountie. It's at this point in the movie I generally absolutely cracked up, laughing my head off. Not only is Van Damme wearing slippers, he's wearing this Mountie thing and his hair is right up there. But all joking aside, Van Damme is vicious in this, but also out of his mind. This is one of the oddest performances I've ever seen of Van Damme. He is talking to trees, he's eating strawberries, he's making some weird noises, he laughs like a weird crazy man. He's like, ah! Like a crazy Van Damme. The fighting in this movie though is pretty sweet. It's very like hard hitting, brutal. It does seem that a lot of people though know MMA in this. Almost everybody in this movie who has a fight has at least one suplex in them of some form. This movie is pretty much under siege on an island with elements of First Blood, especially the forest bit, and Hard Target. It's got a bit of Hard Target thing going on as well. That would have been interesting if Van Damme had played the bad guy in Hard Target 2. That would have been interesting. It was like a remake. This is not brilliant, but it is a fun watch.
It has a very fast pace.
That's because of the time of the movie. But seriously, there is a scene at the start of this movie where the police bust into this wiped out control room and they're like, where they need to go is on the screen, and then there's this voice going, we need to go there because that's where the drugs are, and it's like so fast. It's so forced in your face. So if it's action you like and it's Van Damme movies you like, this is definitely worth the watch. It's even worth a watch for action fans, but a lot of it you've kind of seen it before. Should you own it? Only if you're a Van Damme action kind of fan, but you should definitely watch it. How many concert bricks out of 5? I'm going to give this 3. 1, 2, 3. It's an action movie, it's short, it's sweet, it's brutal. And you know the storyline's alright as well. Get rid of them bricks. I've been Steve Multi Mason, thanks for watching, goodbye. Whoa, that's a weird effect, a bit like Time Cop that, isn't it? Enemies Closer, very similar boxes. Didn't realise this when I did the review. Guess what? Both directed by the same director. No wonder the covers look alike. Wow. And a super bonus ending for this. Time Cop's now a 15 on Blu-ray, believe it or not. I'm Stephen Monkey Mason, and welcome to Fast Forward Reviews. The movie is Kickboxer Vengeance. This movie is an action. It's a bit of a drama. It's a kickboxer movie, so it's definitely a fighting movie. It's a remake. It's a sequel. It's a reboot. I seriously don't know what this movie is. I don't know if it's a remake, a reboot, a follow-up, a sequel, a reimagination. I'm like completely baffled about what this movie is. The year 2016. It's on for 1 hour and 30 minutes, an hour and a half. Directed by John Stockwell, who was also an actor in Christine. Starring David Bautista, or Dave Bautista, depending on what DVD you look at with his name on. Alan Musiti. That's definitely wrong, Alan. I'm sorry. Gina Carano, who was also in The Heist. It's probably going to make a bit more sense later on, but a bit odd. With George St. Pierre and the returning Jean-Claude Van Damme. Age rating for this movie is a 15. It's quite got away with a lot with a 15, mind. Tagline for this movie is The Legend Returns. What legend are they talking about? The legend that is Kickboxer, that has about 5 sequels that they hate? That's true, because if you look at the Kickboxer collection that came out, it only has the original Kickboxer and this Kickboxer, so that is the Kickboxer collection. I'm sure there's at least 5 Kickboxers. I'm sure Marky Costos is in one of them. Or are they talking about the legend that is Jean-Claude Van Damme returning? That doesn't make much sense either, does it? Because Van Damme is not playing the same character he did in the original. What legend are they talking about? Tom Poe. He is in the movie. So is Batista. I'm not sure. The legend returns. So here's a little bit about the movie. A man is out for vengeance after his brother is killed in a fight. They could have done a weird crossover with Hard Dogger 2 at this point. It's the same story at the start. Tom Poe is an undefeated monster, so the man has no choice but to take on some insane training by a master who pushes him to the very limits. Yeah, this is pretty much a remake. It kind of sounds like Hard Dogger 2 though. So once again, is it a remake? Is it a reboot? Is it a sequel? Oh wow. There is already a sequel to this movie already made, filmed and shot, called Retaliation, and stars Jean-Claude Van Damme and Christopher Lambert. I've just been laughing my head off because I've just filmed the Highlander 5 video and I was on about Highlander 5, how this is the only one without Christopher Lambert in. So what happened to Christopher Lambert? He went off and was in the new Kickboxer. Just coincidence. So yeah, this is a baffling one. It's a remake, it's a sequel, it's a reboot, it's a Highlander. You know, it's a Highlander. There's too many different versions of Highlander to keep on bringing this back. Fun fact about this movie, hasn't really released one yet, but why does Dave Bautista's name keep changing on cover to cover? Is David Bautista there and Dave Bautista there? But then Bautista's different from Batista the wrestler. Batista, what's going on? Scott, ask him, what's going on? Gotta get round to watching this heist. Sorry, Scott. So here's my review of the movie. This looks great at the start. The locations are stunning. Now that could be stock footage, but as soon as the acting starts, it looks a little low budget. Seriously, it's a big dip. It's like, wow, look at this, it's gonna be good. Whoa, what happened there? The story has new twists and turns to it, but the outline is pretty much the original Kickboxer. Tom Poe has a bigger role in this. That is definitely the biggest difference between the two movies. That is probably because it is Batista, another guy who was rumoured to play the Kurgan in the new Highlander remake. Really? Now, away from Batista, Van Damme. Now, Van Damme returns to this franchise and took it on the last minute. I know Scott Atkins was involved at one point, and then Van Damme wasn't going to be in it. Who was meant to be Van Damme's original role? Tony Jaa was originally meant to play Van Damme's character, so it's a bit of a weird world. Anyway, enough from that. Van Damme is great in this. He has a really good partner. He gets to showcase he can still do his kicks and has some very funny bits. The role has been proper adapted and evolved to be Van Damme. You know what I mean? It's been custom built that they know that Van Damme was in the original, so it's got like a lot of Easter eggs, hints and jokes. There's even a mint bit in the prison with Van Damme where there's an awesome cameo. But it's quite weird because Van Damme's voice changes in this a lot. I don't want to say it, but it almost sounds like Van Damme's been dubbed. And this film has some really odd, some really odd subtitles going on. Seriously, they're bright, colourful, and random. Like Stephen Monkey Mason. Like, wow, look at that. Now this is going on while the film goes on. Now stop that. It's unique, but it's also like, this is meant to be a kickboxer movie. It would probably work in a child's movie to educate them about foreign languages. But for this, no. You've definitely got to look out for the bit where they're fighting on the elephants. Yes, I said that right. Fighting on the elephants. So when you get the close-ups and you see the two humps there, it's really funny because it just looks like some kind of like tyres piled up and they're jumping on top of it. Obviously not going to be jumping on top of Dumbo's head, are they? But apart from that, the in-ring fighting of this is absolutely brutal. It's just a shame about the fights in the streets. Fans of Kickboxer need to see this. This is a total love letter to the original. And it's a sequel we never got to see back in the day. It is worth the watch. So, should you own it? Yes. If you're a Kickboxer Van Damme fighting fan, definitely check this out. Should you watch it? Yeah, give it a watch. You know, it re-educates you. You get to see Van Damme dancing again. That's worth the watch. How many concert bricks so out of 5? I'm only going to give this 2. 1, 2. It looks good. This fighting could have been a little bit better. The in-ring stuff's good. The street fighting is not street fighting. There's another Van Damme film there. Anyway, definitely worth checking out, but it's only 2 bricks. I jumped up, so I went on a big rant there trying to make this video shorter. I am sorry. It's a bit like Enemies Closer. Just make it shorter, just make it shorter. The movie is Enemies Closer. I've been Steve Monkey Mason. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Here's a quick final ending rant for you. I've just finished filming my rant for Event Horizon. That will be the end episode of Series 2. Kickboxer on VHS. I do not know why I've just said that so creepy, but it's at a crazy price of $4.99. Vengeance is a dangerous motive. I don't start with the subtitles again, man. And it has been rewound. I've been Steve Monkey Mason. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. The movie is Kickboxer Retaliation, which is a sequel to Kickboxer Vengeance, which is not a sequel to the original Kickboxer, but that's going to get confusing. I don't know if this is a reboot, a remake, a refranchise, but this one is definitely a sequel to whatever the last one is. So that's the end of this. So yeah, we go. It is an action, definitely a drama. Also, it's definitely a Kickboxer movie, and since this is becoming a thing, it's definitely a Van Damme movie. Jean-Claude Van Damme should definitely have a good, bad, and the Wtfs. Wtfs. It is a 15, up in the top corner, 15. It's on for 1 hour and 50 minutes, and it has a long ending as well. We're sticking around until the end credits are definitely finished. Directed by Dmitry Logotis. Got Dmitry right. Logo, no idea. It's also written by Dmitry, and, get rid of that, Jim McGough. My god, I just killed Starman. Yeah, that's written by. Starring Alan Musiti again. He's back. Musiti. There should have only been one. Christopher Lambert makes his appearance in this movie. Mike Tyson's in this. Not even going to try this guy's name. I'm not going to try and butcher this guy's name because the guy is like 7 foot tall or something like that. And I'm going to try and do my best to have all the foreign hyphens. Honestly, the second word's like a P and a B together. I don't even think I can possibly do that. That's just a P, but now it's a D. I don't even know if that's right. I don't even know the giant's name. Sorry. The P and the D thing, I'm sorry, I just gooned that. Probably makes sense. PD to E. The guy's an absolute animal. Monster. And the legend himself, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Budget for this movie, $13 million, and it only made, according to Wikipedia, £92,760. Came out strong on DVD and Blu-ray though in the UK. Doing well. Because it already has a sequel getting made called Armageddon. I'm telling you right now, cast Scott Adkins right now to be the baddie. So here's a little bit about the movie. Set about a year after 18 months or so since the events of the first movie, Kurt has returned to the States where he became an MMA star. But his past has come back to haunt him as he is arrested, well sort of arrested, he's sort of kidnapped and sent back to Bangkok, Thailand. To defend his championship he won from Tom Poe in a new match against an angry giant. But he doesn't want to do this, he wants to be a star, so they send him to prison. It's a bit harsh. But he did murder Tom Poe. Even though Tom Poe appears throughout this movie in flashbacks, and Dave Bautista in fact has 2 trailers at the start of this movie as well, go, oh yeah, that's Tom Poe. After being in jail for a while and finding new friends, he is pushed to breaking point to finally compete against the new monster, who is called Monka. Puh. Like the actor's name himself, can't even pronounce it, but there we go, that's the basic outline of this movie. Has to return to Thailand to have a fight, while Christopher Lambert has a crazy circulation of gamblers
What a random review this has turned out to be. It's even scripted. Fun fact about this movie, this is the first official sequel Van Damme has been in. That's the best fun fact I've got for this movie. Van Damme was killed off in the original series, and whatever they say. So Kickboxer 3, The Art of War, looks absolutely crap. Dennis Kane, the legs cast you've never heard of, a flying kick. Look at that, man. Just Kickboxer 3. How white is that? That's the whitest cast for that. But the VHS back in the time, Kickboxer, The Art of War, I mean, look at that. That's it. He doesn't even look like the same guy. That actually looks like the Love London. Yeah, look a bit like a Mr. De London there. The fight for glory becomes the fight for justice. Has been rewound. Another flip cover. 2020 vision. Big box, yeah. That was maybe a retro video. Now it's in here. So here's my review of the movie. Don't know why I just dabbed a bit there, but their review of the movie. I was very, very cautious about watching this after seeing the first, the reboot, the sequel, whatever the other one was. But I was a little bit interested. As soon as Christopher Lambert was involved in this, I was like, oh, and then Mike Tyson, I was like, what the fuck? Starting off like the original with epic landscapes of Thailand, it suddenly gets a bit weird as footage blurred over and faded in of Kickboxer is cut in. Now you think I'm talking about the first film, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Like flashback, but no. It's the original Kickboxer. Like Van Damme, is young Van Damme is in the corner. You think, what the fuck? Is this a sequel? What is this? Very, very confusing. Then it really starts with a train sequence which starts dancing. You think, wait a minute. Definitely a dream. A bit like Under Siege 2 when he goes along fighting a few people on top and all that. And he's sort of dancing and then wakes up in the middle of the MMA ring, busts out some arm bars and stuff like that. And that's when he gets kidnapped. So it has a bit of a confusing start, but it does sort of catch up in the story, sets the pace and sets the tone, and he gets sent to prison. Lambert's pretty good in this as well, delivering forms. It is looking a bit dated, poor Lambert, but it does deliver an awesome performance. Probably one of the best in the film. The guy, Alan Mussini, who is generally, looks like an amazing real life actor, like martial artist, sorry, not an actor. He can act in a way, sorry, I don't want to do myself a hole with that one. Then walks along and borrows a lot from Old Boy when he walks through the prison in one big long epic shots and like moving cameras and loads of stunt guys getting kicked in the face, flipping over, like literally getting chucked down flights of stairs like hello war. And at that point I was like, wow, that's good. It's good to see that kind of fighting in a kickboxing movie. Some nice choreographed stuff and falls and stuff, you know what I mean? You're watching a kickboxing movie, you don't want some serious fucking story, you want to see flips and kicks. Look what the Undisputed franchise was doing, and then it didn't get released in England. What happened to 3? 4's coming out, but what happened to 3? Once again, cast Scott Atkins in a new one, please. Just like to point out, like this has just cut too, it's very yellow. In some of the prison scenes, it's like, why is it so yellow? Really? Really? When Mike Tyson turns up, it's not like a what the fuck moment. Mike Tyson's actually really good in it, even quite funny. He's just like, oh, you interrupt my meditating. Boom! In the fighting scenes with him, he's really good. Honestly, I mean, it's Mike Tyson, of course he can box, you know what I mean? The fight scene between him and that, it's awesome, and then it goes in the whole training. Then Van Damme reappears out of nowhere, just like in the night. Gives him a nice reveal. In Fuck My Life, Van Damme's now blind. It's Bloodsport all over again. He just says he's blind, it's just like, okay. But he possesses some pure master tomfoolery and fighting styles. You're not expecting to get a kickboxer film with Van Damme in and not see Van Damme fight. He's blind. And he has a fight with Mike Tyson. He then has a motherfucking sword fight with Christopher Lambert, Highlander, Conor McLeod, of the Clan McLeod, of the Clan McLeods, as well. So there's a wet dream for you. Van Damme versus Christopher Lambert in a sword fight. There can only be one. Yes, Van Damme. There should have only been one. Surprised Van Damme hasn't had a twin in this franchise. Then, oh my god. Like, oh my god. Like, OMG all over again. The fucking subtitles are back. Big, bold, colourful. Why? Why? The subtitles are even there when the crowd chant White Warrior. Which could be a bit racist in a way, but it goes white, as in white, warrior in red. I hate red font. White Warrior. White Warrior. White Warrior. Like, wow. Why? Then there's another scene with a train which, again, looks like the same thing, but in data it looks really bad. The CGI on the train was terrible. But then there's a bit of an arty-farty scene with mirrors and UV tattoos. That's different, but you think, why? But I'm saying why. There, it's a film, do you know what I mean? That looks different. It's very colourful and then weird in a way. We then finally get to the end fight and the guy is a monster he's fighting with and it's really good. Great to see finally this big fight, this big giant fight him and stuff like that. Some good action sequences, good some flips and kicks and brutal bits. Then there's a proper what the fuck moment. Like flatliner moment. You're like what the fuck? It's like fighting Jason on Mortal Kombat X and all of a sudden it's like what the fuck, I thought I beat him on extreme hard. Back at you with his fucking machete. No. Spot the film that bit, especially when Van Damme runs up and goes, no! Isn't Van Damme make me blind? There's even one bit when Van Damme says, "Can I see the guy fight?" Before the fight, and you think, "Can you see the guy fight? Can you?" Like, you tell me, can you see it? It's a very loose film, this. But this was a fun watch. It's better than the original, or whatever the sequel wants to be. I did enjoy it. It is getting a sequel almost straight away. So if you see this, haven't seen anything about it, it is worth checking out. And now, since these are VHSs, not concert bricks anymore, this is a 3-star VHS. 1, 2, 3, even though it's not available on VHS. The original is free VHS. It's picking up a bit of a random one. There we go, free VHS, maximum risk. Yeah. Free VHS, rating of a movie. Note to self, I might try and do that in the future. Instead of digitally putting in the whole concert brick is back there, one concert brick. Get rid of that concert brick. I might just start picking up. How many VHSs was it? Yeah, free out there. Thanks for watching. Enjoy Kickboxer. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to the end of Kickboxer 2, 5, the remake, the reimagination. That review was filmed nearly a year and a half ago, if not over a year and a half. Believe me, I've just tried looking for my MTV t-shirt. It's probably somewhere in one of these wardrobes. I didn't want to pull. So we're sitting in my bedroom right now, getting through it this morning. Fonts, titles, weird names, pronunciation. Now, the next episode of Fast Forward Reviews will be the final episode, and I'll tell you what that is in a minute. But a year and a half later, the Kickboxer, there's no sign of Van Damme, Lambert or Tyson in Armageddon. There is just a still, and there's been nothing since. So it's done pretty well. It's unfortunately found itself in Poundland, the last two. So obviously, I mean, there's been a big following, but I think it's completely all over the place. Going back to Undisputed 4 has actually came out over here. Fight for Freedom. So it was on Netflix's Biker. Now it came out on DVD, but the third one's still not released in the UK. And now Biker's returned on Netflix. So it's, I mean, it's a clusterfuck. Scott Adkins would be great in the cast, but again, Alan Mussolini, whatever you want to call him, is going to be in that. So basically that was filmed. I wanted Jambo Shangle to be in this, but literally this was filmed ages ago, and the last one is going to be Cuffs, and Cuffs is going to be a special ending, because at the end of the day the problem is, it's not that I don't work with the fucking magazines and stuff like that now, but I still have a good strong connection with it, but I just don't have the time writing these, then filming them, then editing, chopping it, and then going, oh, I'll put a font there and a font here, like, oh fuck. So I just don't have the time. And I was say a year and a half ago, like, I was like, right, that's it, and I've been working my way gradually through them, from Prayer the Roller Boys to 1408, finally 1408, Kickboxer, Nocturnal Animals. So we'll get there eventually. That's a notification saying the new Kickboxer's been made. But yeah, it was just one of those things where, yeah, the next episode will be Cuffs, and don't get us wrong, it is proper special. There's some rare necessities in this, and even Christian Slayer's in it. So yeah, I'll see you in the Cuffs, and it should come out quickly as well, because I've got a package I can only open when I've outlined it, so I don't know if I've fucked up anything. So yeah, thanks for watching, like, share and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye for now. Haha! It's one of the best. It's just fucking brilliant. Yeah. It's fucking class. I was going to send that to Matty just... He's going, what the fuck? But yeah, I'm sure this is the last outtake. Hope you enjoyed the epic. I'm making them epic, I'm making them long. I'm just filling the void. I'm going to go and build a shed. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now. Okay, so this is the very end of the good, the bad and the what the fucks for Jean-Claude Van Damme. I've just done like the reminiscing, and I generally was going to do Nicolas Cage next. The colour out of space it came. I was like, ooh, Nicolas Cage, you know, get the pile of films to come down. And the postman just brought me that. So it's in here. Well, I might have had a few beers the other night. Might have been sitting on a website, and I might have just ended up with, are you ready for this? We have Maximum Risk. Have it on VHS twice. It's there. And on there in big box. No Holds Barred. Wanted to see it for ages. I remember that as a kid. That was like the, was it four for £8? That was the fourth. Double Impact. That's probably been resealed. Can't imagine there's a copy of Double Impact rocking around this day and age, sealed. It's discontinued, you know. It looks sealed, but yeah. 2 Van Dammes. Next up, whoa, Pound for Flesh. Another Van Damme film. I've seen that, it's on Blu-ray. Next up, Legionnaire. Oh my god, it even came from Music Magpie with a 50p fucking sticker on it. I mean, I think it was $1.99. I mean, I do have it on VHS. But I went for the original artwork. That is so crummy. God, they could have cleaned their fucking Music Magpie. Next up, Sudden Death. I have this, right, but I couldn't fucking find it. So Sudden Death. So you can see what you can already spoil what the next Van Damme, the good, the bad, what the fuck is. I have no idea what the fuck that is. Or that. What the fuck are they? Hang on, anyway. Cyborg. Let's have to get that. Or Masters of the Universe 2. Until Death. Yep. It's a shotgun. I never knew what the fuck he was holding. I got a closer look. That doesn't even look like Van Damme. I'll find out what these other 2 things are. Next up we have... Wow, it's a box set. Right, okay, so it's a pretty big ass box set. It's brand new, that. So it's got Knockoff, which I do have in box somewhere. Desert Heat, that's why I got that. It wasn't $5.99, it was a couple of quid, and Street Fighter's back in there as well, so I got another copy of Street Fighter. And last but not least, 3 Van Damme films. So we've got In Hell, Replicant, and the fucking Order again, but again, there you go, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Fuck. Expendables 2, Swelter 40, Shepherd 15, Assassination Games. Oh no, might be 4 films short of the 50. Pound and a half somewhat. Right, thanks for watching. Like the channel, like the videos, dislike the videos if you want to be, and you think you're clicking on here to see 10 free Van Damme films, buy them. They're cheap enough. I mean, fuck. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.
And now, the end is here.